New card. What do you think?
Get over here!
Hadouken!
That man is playing Galaga.
I understood that reference.
You shall not pass! So say we all. So say we all.
Ride with me.
It's adamantium tasting time, boys.
Well, maybe it's your number one.
All wings report in.
And welcome to your weekly interval. This is the Best Damn Nerd Show. I'm your host, Microphone Alchemist James Kincaid. With me tonight, Imperial Commissar Jeff Budd.
Don't call it a comeback.
Oh, it's good to have my favorite listener back on the show proper. How you doing, Jeff?
Oh, Mary Dan's on tonight too?
Fresh off what I hear is just a scintillating episode of Ultra Monthly. Isn't that right, Chief Science Officer of Star Labs, Marc Truex?
That's correct. Some people call it the Lord's work.
Yeah, I heard that pre-show.
So a direct quote from one of our
Now it's for everyone. It's true. It's canon.
Well, it's good. It's good to have you back. Good to see
Not
you, Marc.
according to Marvel.
And Professor Chris Davis. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Just smooth brain, diamond holding, astronaut ape. Loving the stock, my friend. Loving the stock. I
don't
like
even
the
know
stock.
what any of that means. We are going to be getting into what Davis is talking about later on in the show, and I'm very intrigued to learn what he just said, what it all means, because I honestly don't right now. I've been a little bit busy, but fortunately I have a financier expert in Chris Davis to explain everything to me about what's going on.
Say
God
that
help
sentence
us.
again. Davis just lit a cigar with a $100 bill.
Welcome back to the Best Damn Nerd Show. Before we get into all that stock business, Marc Truex, you have created a game based off of pretty much, first you're breaking news about Army Hammer and everything like that. Tell us about this. You're taking the reins, my friend. I'm kicking it over to you.
That's right, listeners. You are joining in on the first ever Army Hammer. Is it movie or cannibal game feature here on the Best Damn Nerd Show? Because our friend Army Hammer of the podcast, he likes biting people and drinking blood or something. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's real or not, but it did.
I think it's real.
I think it sparked something really fun inside of me, though. And and so I've crafted a nice.
That's news to me.
I've crafted a nice little game for us here tonight on the Best Damn Nerd Show, which is giving off a series of quotes for the gentleman here to decide: is this a quote from Army Hammer's DM, the Cannibal, or is this a quote from another movie? You might be surprised at what we find here tonight. So let's dive in. We got 8 titillating rounds of trivia here. Questions to be given out.
Hats off to you, Marc.
All right. Now here
30 questions in each round.
That's right. Here are the rules. Each of you will be given one question per round. If you choose correctly, it is an Army Hammer quote. You are given a point. If you choose correctly, it is a quote from a movie, given a point. You get extra points if you can name said movie. All right.
Ooh,
so let's
you can name said person that Army Hammer said the quote to.
No, and I hope none of you studied for this.
They're property. They have no names.
So we will start off as such. All right. Round 1, going to Jeff. All right. You are like the Michael Phelps of fucking. Everyone else just doesn't have what you have. Is this an Army Hammer quote from his DMs or a line from a movie?
Could be a line from an Army Hammer movie.
I'm going to say it's a line from a movie.
That is incorrect. This is a line from Army Hammer's DMs. Dude,
damn it.
Michael Phelps a fucking. You, sir, are not a Michael Phelps of Army Hammer trivia.
Wow.
No point awarded this round. All right, moving
Marc just
on.
bites my arm really hard.
Yeah, that's where we really need to up the game.
Right. Moving on to Mr. Davis. Man eats the flesh of another. He takes the other man's spirit, absorbs his spirit.
That's a movie quote.
That is. Can you name said movie?
I'm gonna go Ravenous.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
yes, it is. 2 points for Mr. Davis.
Right
I don't
off
like that
the
Davis
bat.
wasn't more confident about that since he's such a Ravenous fan.
I knew
off the bat.
immediately it was fucking Ravenous. God.
that's
That
one of the only cannibal
that movie
movies I
will
know.
haunt me for the rest of my days.
Moving on to Mr. Kincaid. First round. Everything in this room is eatable. Even I'm eatable. Is this an Army Hammer quote or line from a movie?
I'm gonna say a line from a movie.
That is correct. Bonus point. Can you name said movie?
I cannot.
This is from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
really different tone
Good.
there, but
Very good. End of round one. Mr. Davis is in the lead with 2 points. James with 1. Jeff with 0. Starting off.
I like
Round
it
number
better when the
2.
points don't matter.
The points matter. Loser gets eaten.
Damn
Oh
it,
no!
I was
High
already
I
stakes
didn't
game
sign up
we
for
play.
this.
All right, round 2 to Jeff. Oh, fuck the law. I want meat.
Wait, can you say that again, Mark?
Oh,
fuck the law.
fuck
I
the
want meat.
law. I want meat.
I think the best part's Mark reading
Army
these
Hammer?
quotes.
Or line from a movie.
Give me a moment.
I couldn't even say what Army Hammer sounds like.
Dude, he's one of the Winklevoss
He has a
twins.
deep voice.
Yeah, I'm pretty spot on. Me and Army Hammer are basically twins in every way.
It's true. You look exactly like him.
You guys could have played the was it Winklevoss?
The Winklevoss twins,
are in-
or the Winklevi.
Yeah, Army didn't have to play both characters,
as
You
it
could have
were.
been brought in.
6'4", and there's 2 of me.
fuck the law, I want meat. I'm gonna say, Army.
That is from a movie. From Nightbreed.
I don't even know what movie that is.
Nightbreed.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Check it out, listeners. Check it out.
Have you checked it out?
Yes.
Oh.
and Davis. Davis, on to you, sir. I want to eat you.
I mean,
Line
Well,
from
that's
Army
not
Hammer?
that's
Line
not
from a
much
movie.
to go off. I mean, I would think that was from a movie at some point, but based off how little I have to go, I might just go Army Hammer on that one.
That is correct. That is a line from one Army Hammer's DMs. And James, your second.
Was that a sexual thing or was that actual cannibal?
No, he
Dude, it's
wants
all
to
sexual.
eat them. I think he wants
Can
to
it be
actually
both?
eat people. Yeah, that's
Dude,
his
you
kink.
don't fuck your food? Come on. All right, James. And to you. Get away from that car or I'll drink your blood.
I'm gonna say movie because I don't see him DMing somebody get away from that car unless what are we on like FaceTime or something like that. But I'm gonna say movie. Get away from that car or I'll drink your blood. Is that's the quote?
That it is from a
Get
movie.
away from that car or I'll drink your blood. I'm just gonna go complete shot in the dark and say Fright Night.
That is from Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
Whoa! Damn it. Should have lobbed that one to Jeff the same way you lobbed Ravenous to Davis.
All right.
Honestly, don't even remember that line.
We're moving on. We're moving on, and now to round 3, starting off with Jeff. Kali Ma, protect us.
Can we get a score update?
Score update, end of round 2. Davis in the lead with 3, James 2, Jeff 0. But it's anyone's game. 8 rounds, my friends. Lots of cannibalism, lots of quotes.
You boys not out of it yet.
So to Jeff, his line is, Kali Ma, protect us. We are her children. We pledge our devotion to her with an offering of flesh and blood.
Fuck you, Mark.
How great would it be if Army Hammer had texted that? A movie, Indiana Jones Temple of Doom.
That is correct. Jeff is back in the game with 2 points.
I feel like this is some bullshit.
On to Davis.
Okay.
A day without blood is like a day without sunshine.
Sounds like something Army would say.
It does, actually. I think he could say that. I am going to go movie, though.
You are correct. Answer. It is a movie.
Okay, fantastic.
For a bonus point, can you name said movie?
I'm gonna go with Blade.
Incorrect. This is from Full Metal Jacket.
Damn it.
Full Metal Jacket.
It's an eclectic mix of movie quotes you've activated
yes,
here,
Marc.
It is. I'm very impressed.
This is not even from just cannibal movies.
That's right. That's what I said.
That's what's so awesome about it. Yeah.
Yeah. It really keeps us on our toes.
Right.
Keeps us hungry for more.
That's right. Now, James, on to you. You just live to obey and be my slave. I will own you. That's my soul, my brain.
I think that might be from my DMs.
Prepare to get a box of dicks.
Yeah. I'm going to send you a box of dicks, and then I'm going to eat you like you ate that sushi. Ooh, yeah! I'm going to say movie.
Incorrect. That is from One Army Hammer.
Fucking awesome,
Read it
right?
again?
I recognize that quote.
Yeah. You just live to obey and be my slave. I will own you. That's my soul, my brain.
Wow.
Army Hammer.
He wants them to be a slave,
A-lister.
and he wants to be able to eat them. Like, it's
Yeah.
both.
Covers
Kinda
both
like,
sides.
I wonder if he likes Interview with the Vampire, just thinking like Louis feeding off of his slave. It
That's
probably would have been what he was into.
All right.
Nobody
With
else
that,
reads Anne Rice?
I love it.
It's
I
a
read
good
it
Tom
on my
Cruise
way to
movie.
New Orleans. It was fantastic last year.
Nice.
And then everything shut down. It was crazy times. So that wraps up round number 3. The standings are Chris in the lead with 3 points. James and Jeff tied at 2 points. Starting
Wait,
round...
shouldn't Davis have 4?
Nope.
No? Isn't he? I thought he was undefeated.
I guess, yeah. I should have 4.
Because he got the bonus and he's got the other 2 after.
Fine. I'll give him one. Davis has 4 points. And you both still have 2 points.
Jubbling you bitches up.
Fair enough.
Wait. We had 3 rounds. I thought Davis got 1 wrong.
See,
I
got
got
them
the
all
movie
right.
wrong. I got the movie wrong.
The movie wrong, but...
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Yeah. No, but you
Yeah.
got his quote wrong, too, I thought. Like, you didn't get Army Hammer. So you got 2 points, then no points, then 1 point, I thought.
Oh.
See? Who's... Yeah, that's
No.
right. I'm going back.
That's right.
3 points.
Not right.
I believe
James got
Jeff.
the Army Hammer run wrong.
I believe Jeff. Moving on
This
to
is
round number 4.
Horseshit.
Round number 4, leading off
Stocks?
with Jeff.
Rigged more than the stock market.
Ultra Monthly, brother.
Leading with Jeff. Say that you're mine. Mine. I own you now. I'll own you forever.
I'll say that's Army Hammer.
That is correct. That is an Army Hammer quote from his DMs. 1 point awarded to Jeff. Good job.
He's so dramatic in the DMs too. Like he needs to say
Dude, he's an
mine 3
A-lister.
times.
A-lister, dude.
You're just
A-lister
typing
is
his
not
own
strong.
stuff.
He sells
Lone
it.
Ranger was an underrated movie. I stand by that. It was good fun.
Davis, your next line here is, Lord, what I wouldn't give for a drop of good old-fashioned Creole blood.
Creole blood. I don't think Army Hammer knows what Creole means, so
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
you
go.
know what
What are you
Creole
talking about? He
means.
went to
I think
Harvard.
I think you're projecting.
Dude, he was the
I
Lone
am.
Ranger.
If I don't know it, he doesn't know it. So I'm going movie.
Correct. Can you name the movie?
Gosh, I'm gonna go. Oh man, the James Bond movie and the Voodoo. What's that one?
Wrong.
Damn it.
Interview with the Vampire.
God!
Just
Like, apropos, Jeff right on top of it, too. That was good.
It's almost as if though I've been fed the answers.
has not.
I don't like that.
That's not.
I don't mean to cast shade on Mark's game. I have not.
All right. Just throwing aspersions on yourself.
Just so
But
there's
speaking-
no issues of points. I
Some
have
of us
4
just want to
now.
watch the podcast burn.
But speaking of, James, your next line. I'm intense. I need your blood. I want you to feed me with it.
I'm kind of into this stuff. I'm
Well, maybe you
gonna
could be
go
his
with
cannibal slave.
I'm gonna go with Army Hammer.
Correct. This is an Army Hammer quote.
I'm starting to get a feel for him.
The
It's like you
tone is
stepped
there.
into his mind.
Feed me
He's
with
starting to
your
get a
blood.
taste for you.
Open that box of dicks.
And that sums up
See, when it
round
work on him,
number
he'd eat them all
4.
up.
Round number
Just
4.
shoot him in his mouth.
I ate those dicks, and I'm coming for you.
Jeez.
I paid for the extra dicks. He might choke.
Dude, he just knows what he wants. I don't know why everyone's kink shaming him. Just saying. Anyway, to
So
wrap
at
up
the
round number 4, we are tied across the board, 3 points all.
I just got
No,
4.
Davis just
Yeah,
got
wait a
his
minute.
four.
Davis just got an extra point, dude.
Somebody,
No, he
somebody rewind the tape. I am at
Mark, I'm
5 now,
drunk.
and you're trying to
No, you are
cut me.
not.
Fair enough. Fine. Davis is in the lead with 4. Everyone else has 3. I'm messing myself up with the bonus
You see how it is,
points.
Mark, being jailer to these people? It's not as easy.
All right.
Somebody's gonna listen
Moving
and be like,
on.
Davis has 5 right now, but it's cool.
Don't worry, Davis. The way you're acting, I'm going to minus you so many points in the next Nerdgasm or Nogasm for the way you're behaving.
All right. Jeff, you're next here with the start of round number 5.
Feed me with it.
I cut the heart out of a living animal before and eaten it while still warm.
That's a movie.
Movie? Incorrect. This is an Army Hammer love DM.
Dear
Love
Lord.
That's how you
I
hope
spice
that's
things
not
up.
true.
Yeah. That's how you
Is this-
warm things up.
Is this all just to one girl, or
No.
is this to multiple? This is to multiple people.
This is his thing.
This is for multiple
Yeah, that's what he
people.
does.
Oh, wow.
I hope that's false
Supposedly.
bravado.
It's
and there's not
it's
actually
normal app dating
animal out there.
banter. You get to a certain point and you get into these lines of conversation every time with people.
Exactly. You either test the waters and put these questions out there, or you end up sending sushi to people and they blow you off. I mean,
She got what was coming to her, and she's gonna get a box of dicks every year in perpetuity, or whoever lives at that address will. She fouled me. Continue.
on to Davis, currently at 4 points. We got a
think it
pint
was
of your
3.
blood. It's 4. It's fine. A pint of your blood can fetch you $50. A shot of cum, $3,000.
Oh no.
That sounds like
I
some
don't-
market manipulation.
I don't want this to be true, but I'm gonna go Army Hammer.
That is incorrect. It was not the A-lister Army Hammer. This was from Way of the Gun. Way of the Gun. One Ryan Philippe. Great
And-
movie. Check it out.
And a favorite movie of 831 alumnus one Ryan Kendall.
That it is. All right. James, your quote. I want to cut off one of your toes and keep it with me in my pocket, so I always had a piece of you in my possession.
Oof, that's love. And because that's so loving, I'm going to say that it could only be the hunka A-list love Army Hammer.
That is correct. 1 point to Jim.
That's the first quote I really knew. Bummed I didn't get that one. I remember hearing that driving to work. I was like, what the hell?
This is a great game.
Some dark
Lone Ranger.
What fucking bizarre.
Some dark shit. But that rounds out round number 5. Our standings is Davis and James tied at 4 points each. Jeff trailing at 3. Still anyone's
I'm right
game.
there. I'm right there.
Anybody's
Here
game,
on
yeah.
Movie or Cannibal, starring Army Hammer. So let's kick off round 6. Only 3 rounds left, gentlemen.
Oh boy.
So
Jeff's like Tom Brady. You know, he could come back at any point in time, but I'm just worried that he's already eaten his field goal kicker's leg, though. So, but he's still right there.
So to Jeff, I'm going to rip you limb from limb, and your remains will never be found. Why? Because I'm going to swallow every last bit.
I'm gonna say it's Army Hammer.
That is incorrect. This is from Old Boy. Fantastic film.
I'm sure Army Hammer liked the movie.
Dude, I could see some.
I was wondering if he was like touching himself while reading the Lone Ranger script and the Wendigo scenes. Maybe that's why he signed on for it.
It's like, wait, I'm playing which character?
The leading man.
Of course, because he's an A-lister.
Johnny Depp was second fiddle to him.
And yeah, that he was. He played a good second.
Johnny Depp got first billing.
Yeah,
and
weird.
paid 4 times more.
That was just PC culture wanting Tonto to get top billing.
PC culture is not a fan of him being Tonto.
I know. I am aware.
All right. So for Davis here, I need your blood. I crave it. Will you give it to me tomorrow?
Well, again, not much to go on, so I am gonna go Army on this one. I'm gonna get one.
That is correct.
Yes.
Davis picks up a point, gets to 5 here.
Yeesh,
Good job. Yeah.
The question is, did she
Getting
give it to him the next day?
You know she
give it to
did.
him?
Army Hammer?
Or
Come on.
He took it.
A-lister.
He said give, not take.
But how can a like body slave or whatever give anything if it all belongs to him?
Fair point. Maybe this wasn't a slave. You know what? I don't know what his kinks
Now
are.
he's eating non-slaves?
Not sure. But moving on to James's line here. James, let's see if we can rack some extra points. You can swallow a pint of blood before you get sick. A-lister Army Hammer or line from a movie?
Because Army Hammer is not only an A-lister, but a very learned man, I'm going to say that he would know that for a fact. I'm going to say Army Hammer.
That is incorrect.
Damn
this
it.
comes from Fight Club. Nice
He
try,
even gave you a hit before it because he said
I know.
get some
I
extra
know.
points.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Yeah,
believe
Marc,
that Army
don't
Hammer said
telegraph
that.
your
No,
punches.
just points on the board. I wasn't telegraphing.
You were, but it's okay, buddy.
That rounds out number 6 here. Davis
Speaking
in
of
the
Fight
lead
Club,
with
though.
5. James at 4. Jeff at 3.
Yeesh.
2 rounds left. Round 7. And here we go.
hold
Jeff.
strong diamond hands.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and
Fuck
a
you.
movie, all right.
tea.
You're a piece of shit, Mark.
Yes.
Silence of the
and
Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. 2 points.
Sorry, guys.
Jeff's
Sorry,
coming
guys.
around. Jeff is coming up strong. All right.
Not even fair.
Davis. It's lonely being a cannibal. Tough making friends.
Oh, that is definitely a movie quote. And man,
Yes, it is.
yeah. And I can hear that in the back of my head.
You say it daily.
Yeah, our army does too. I don't got anything for that. No, I'd say Ravenous again, but I don't think we're doing multiple on the same. So
It is from Ravenous. You are correct. You are correct.
God.
2 points
Yes.
awarded to Mr. Davis.
yes,
And on to James. Here we go. I love you, and you gotta let me eat your brain. A-lister Army Hammer or movie quote?
Uh,
it could be just like a movie like of a super strong, like smart guy. Somebody wants to eat his brain, you know.
yeah, I'm
Good Will
going to go
Hunting,
movie.
maybe?
I'm going to go movie.
Correct. This is a movie quote. Going for the bonus point?
Give it a shot.
I love you, and you gotta let me eat your brain. Fuck.
I don't think that's the name.
I don't know. I'll just go Hannibal.
This is Return of the Living Dead.
Nice.
All right. That was the end of round 7. Davis firmly in the lead still at 7 points. James and Jeff tied up at 5 points.
Oh, fuck.
So we can only tie.
So should I go last?
Nah.
Let's start off round number 8.
Didn't answer Davis's question.
We'll just keep going. Maybe there's a wager segment here at the end. All right.
A buy or sell, maybe?
So going on.
It's more of a
Jeff.
nerdgasm, no-gasm.
For Jeff here.
I read that.
You crying and screaming, me standing over you, felt like a god. I've never felt such power or intensity. A-lister Army Hammer or movie quote?
Would you replay the quote one more time?
Yes. You crying and screaming, me standing over you. I felt like a god. I've never felt such power or intensity.
Movie?
This is one Army Hammer.
I have a feeling.
No points.
I figured I was like, I can only get 1 point if it's Army Hammer, so I might as well
take a shot.
Being a movie, yeah.
For it. No point
the reason
awarded.
I also didn't think it was Army Hammer is I would imagine an A-lister cannibal like himself feels that power all the time.
He's also very humble.
Maybe you have
And
a
very
bottom
hungry.
side, though. I'm very hungry. And
Today
me.
I am very hungry.
That's right.
I please let mine be I eat green berets for breakfast.
On to Mr. Davis. So hard thinking of your heart in my hand and controlling when it beats.
I'm. I just want to refuse to say that's Army Hammer, so I'm gonna go movie.
That's
That
one that Marc
is
read on
Army
the show.
Hammer.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That is A-lister Army Hammer. Correct. And last question out to James. If she's menstruating, she's definitely capable of reproduction.
I'm going to say movie.
That is correct.
Because Army Hammer would never, A-lister Army Hammer would never be so crass.
Doesn't breed with his food.
Yeah, gross, dude. So crass. I don't know, Carrie?
This is from Species.
Okay.
All right.
Same movie.
That's a great movie too.
Great flick.
That finished our rounds here. At the end of round 8, Mr. Davis is in the lead at 7. James at 6. Jeff at 5.
Uh-oh, I'm going to get eaten.
Now we got a final item here.
Oh.
Final item. You can
dessert.
Gamble your points. Gamble your points. It's anyone's game. You do not get to know
I want
what
to
the
cash out my
question
5
is.
points now and not gamble.
You're not going to know what the question is. But how much would you like to wager?
All of it?
Yeah, I also will wager all of my points.
Stock goes up.
All right.
Davis?
All right.
So I do I get to choose after they both go, or do I gotta say now?
No, it's like Final Jeopardy. You have to put in your wager.
Wow. Okay.
Just put up the amount of points that you need.
I wager 7.
7 points. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
My buzzer doesn't work.
The question to each of you, this is requiring you to write down your final answer on a sheet of paper.
God damn it.
Just like Jeopardy. This is a real thing.
What?
This is a real thing. Just like in Jeopardy. The question is from Mr. One Army Hammer. He claims himself to be how much percent a cannibal? And the time is yours. Do, 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 do. Boo, doo, boo, doo. Time's up. That was enough time to think, gentlemen. What do we got here? James has 1,000.
It's 100%, you idiot.
He's got 100%. And Mr. Davis, what do we have here? 90%. And Mr. Bud.
I put 50%.
50%? The correct answer is Army Hammer is 100% a cannibal. Extra 6 points awarded to James. James takes the game at 12 points. James Kincaid, first winner here on Army Hammer, movie or cannibal. Good job.
I've never been more proud of anything in my life than winning that. Oh my goodness!
I believe it.
Your children will speak of it.
I need a
They
shower.
will, absolutely. Mark, you know, we're all winners, especially the listeners of this podcast, if you ask me. That was great stuff, Mark. Really awesome. Thank you for putting that together. If you have more, I am 100% down to play that game again. So we should table that for another time as this story develops. I will purposely stay away from Army Hammer quotes just to be more on the level, but that was a lot of fun. All right, on that lovely note, we're going to take a break. On the other side of the Best Damn Nerd Show, we are going to get into our latest from the bracket battle, sports versus esports. And then after that, we're going to talk a little bit of Gamestonks with Chris Davis and company. That all coming up on the Best Damn Nerd Show.
Hey everyone, Chris Eglia here, CEO of the Tenno Media Network. I would like to say thank you for checking out one of our podcasts, but we need your help. You can support Tenno in a multitude of ways. By going to our website and checking out our latest podcasts, by buying some sweet merch, joining our Discord, or getting early and exclusive access to all content via our Patreon. Your support means the world to us, and you can find everything on our website, www.ten-o.gg. That's ten-o.gg. Thank you again, and now, back to the show.
Nerdosphere. It's the microphone alchemist Bimbo Jimbo here, and we want you to be in on the conversation with us. So sound off to us in our Discord, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at the BDNS. And you know, maybe you actually like the Star Wars prequels and sequels. Maybe you think the MCU should be a comedy open mic night on the big screen. Whatever you think, we love to feature the hottest takes from our fans on the show. So remember, if you're a nerd, always say it loud and say it proud. And welcome back to the Best Damn Nerd Show. Marc Truex, Chris Davis, and now Hall of Fame cyber athlete Jonathan Craig. In with me, Jeff Budd was unfortunately eaten by A-lister Army Hammer during the break. But,
No.
you know, it was a loving thing.
I'm sad I show up and Jeff leaves. I feel like it's underscoring the tension between us that's been festering on the show.
100% got eaten by Army Hammer. But welcome back to the Best Damn Nerd Show. Again, hats off to Marc Truex for that wonderful game. What did you call it, Mark? Army Hammer?
Army Hammer, movie or cannibal.
Got it. Okay.
I really loved the Arm & Hammer segment. I'm a big fan of Arm & Hammer. We use their kitty litter. We use the baking soda. We have it in our fridge to get this, to make the scent right. And
very different than what Army Hammer has in his fridge.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy that the Arm & Hammer team is sending out those DMs to their customers.
Yeah. Well, it started with Wendy's social media going buck wild, and it just sort of devolved from there.
They set the precedent.
Yeah, they set the tone. All right, but we have to get into round 2 of our latest bracket battle, sports versus esports. Round 1. There were some upsets. There were controversy. There were hurt feelings. People were being butthurt in the Discord about what won and what didn't, namely John Craig wanting to ban people for voting for basketball. And we had another week of some really good matchups. And, I didn't rally the banners for anything in particular. We had a Cinderella 8th seed make it to the second round. How did they fare this time? Let's get into it. But John, before we get into it, how are you feeling about just all those people still that voted for basketball over your beloved, what was it, Counter-Strike?
Yeah, so I've after having time to mull on it and process it and kind of, detach myself emotionally from it and really kind of approach it rationally, I've decided that instead of banning them right now, I'm going to wait like 3 or 4 months, and then some minor infraction will happen and that person will just find themselves receiving a ban. So I am that petty. I do hold grudges, and ultimately, justice will be served. You scum.
Wow. Ominous. The Illuminati, you should be worried about them. You're trying to upset when they get finished with all the Gamestonk folks and AMC folks and whatever's going on, they're coming for you, John. So
yeah.
All right, let's get into what happened in round 2. It was football, the 1 seed, taking on the Cinderella story, 8 seed pro wrestling, which knocked off in a dazzling victory last week. It knocked off Fortnite. Well, it couldn't knock off football this week, but it was extremely close. Only a difference of 3 votes between football and pro wrestling. I was half tempted to try and, rally some support from the pro wrestling channels and such, but
Shocked.
I just decided to let things run its course. I'm not going to be creating votes, but people lobbied before. We did in the October one, you dumbass, Davis. So don't give me
just find 3 votes.
I'm surprised you didn't. And I wouldn't have argued. I was like, this is
I
one
don't
time
think anyone would have argued that. And honestly, I probably would have voted for wrestling had it been up against any other thing in the bracket except football.
Well, I had a feeling.
I kind of just expected you to tamper with it.
Well, thank you. I don't tamper with things. That's why, when we did the reseeding, I heeded the Illuminati's wishes, which unfortunately gave it the toughest draw in the card, which was football. So, a sad end
for sure.
A sad end for pro wrestling, but still an impressive run to get by a 1 seed and to nearly take down a second 1 seed. If it had done that, man, what a story. But it didn't. So football is moving on. The 1 seed.
Second tier entertainment. I think that's where it belongs. So
Davis is feeling himself because his little Cinderella boy is continuing on. More on that in a moment. All right, we had League of Legends 2 seed taking on 7 seed Rocket League. Also an upset from the first round, which took out 2 seed Soccer, which nobody in this country likes. And by this country, I mean
I don't
the
think anyone
greatest
in our
on God's
Discord was
green.
upset by that.
No, nobody. The United States. League of Legends does get by Rocket League, though. It was very close. Only 1 vote in between them. So League of Legends is moving on. I think that's the right call for this bracket, though. Rocket League, it beat the inferior version of its own sport, and now it's going home.
Yeah.
Davis, you look nonplussed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. League of Legends has a lot more money that you can win in tournaments. Blah, 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 blah. And I would much rather watch a Rocket League match than a League of Legends match. It's high paced, and with my smooth brain self, that's what I need.
I mean, it's definitely more digestible, but it was a very close vote. I gotta say,
it was only 1.
Came down to the wire, and ultimately, League of Legends has created like an entire universe around the game, whereas like it's a little harder to do that with little RC cars that bump into a ball and try to knock it into a goal.
Very fun.
There's
game,
seen the hats.
There's like
and
comics, and there's there's like merchandise you can buy around the League of Legends game. There's other spin-off games that build the universe even more. There's I don't know. There's just so much to that world that League of Legends kicked off that I understand people's attachment to it and why they would vote this way up. But it's amazing how close it was.
Yeah, by only 1 vote. And then we had our one and only upset. Oh, I guess, our one and only upset of this second round. That was the 3 seed, America's pastime, baseball, fucking losing to the 6 seed, hockey.
Yeah.
It was tied for most. It was tied for most of the week, and then hockey pulled away by a couple of votes. I am stunned. Davis,
that's where it belongs. It's the best live action sport to go watch. It's a lot of fun. It's riveting. You got some cold chills from the ice coming up. Got some fights happening.
Dude, red ice.
Lots of fun. Cheap beer on minor league hockey night down in San Diego with Marc's watching the goals.
The best. The best.
Can you talk about entertainment, James? Can you?
I am very disappointed. We must have a lot of Canadian listeners.
Baseball is the exact opposite of entertaining too. It's talking about smooth.
Dude, baseball's about
Christ.
eating hot dogs and slamming big beers and yelling at other fans.
Not only does
No one's
nothing
watching the
happen over the course of a 17-hour game or however long those games are, but there's also like 300 games in a season. So like literally they could just go on like a 3-month losing streak and it would not affect the outcome of their playoff run at all.
I love
nothing
baseball.
is at stake in any baseball game
It's
ever.
my turn to be disappointed in the listeners that hockey of all sports to knock off baseball. It's fucking hockey.
Final Four.
Unbelievable. You maple syrup
it's hard
loving
to get a read
bitches.
on like the voters in our Discord though. Like
I love it.
It feels some of the votes feel inconsistent. Like the fact that you would vote League of Legends over Rocket League and then vote hockey over baseball. I feel like those are like incongruent. You know what I mean? It just doesn't
People
make
like
sense
what they
to
like,
me,
man.
But, you know? Yeah. I'm pretty sure I voted that way though, so I don't even make sense to myself.
I think Justin, Gay Florida Nerd, is getting exactly his wish for the chaos that is ensuing. And then finally in round 2, this one was not close. Fighting Games, the 4 seed, absolutely curb stomped basketball. More than doubled it up, and basketball is going home.
Fatality,
Fighting Games is looking like a 1 seed heading into the next round. They're not. But, woo, man, Fighting Game's looking very strong.
It's absurd.
Why is that absurd?
No, it's not. Because honestly, I think that was the hardest draw coming out for... That was the one item.
You're right. It was would totally not
that
suck
I
to get
not want
for pro wrestling.
I would have much rather went up against football than Fighting Games for basketball because I think our community itself is a big fighting game community viewership, and I think it matches up really well with the competitions that fighting games have. March Madness, they're big events and probably the biggest in each respective field, and fighting games came out on top. So
it's a stacked deck against anything that fighting game goes up against at this point, because fighting games is like a genre of games. It's not just comparing like one sport. It's all encompassing. It encompasses like several huge franchises. But
it's like the USA, pal. It's the United States of fighting games.
Yeah, but
we had Olympics. Olympics had its shot.
I feel like there's a flavor for everyone, and I feel like so many people in our Discord have different like relationships with fighting games, whether it's like, playing Smash or actually being like an Evo attendee or competing or doing streams for fighting games. Yeah, fighting games is going to be a tough one to beat in this bracket.
I completely agree, and I think Riku said it really well too. That's nerdy award-winning listener Riku. That fighting games is part of the DNA of and foundation of the Best Damn Nerd Show. So fighting games is moving on. That brings us to next round's matchups, and as much as I maybe would have wanted pro wrestling to move on or baseball to move on, and I guess that wouldn't have really mattered given the number of sports that made it out of the first round. But here we are. Now there are 2 sports remaining and 2 games remaining, and they're facing off against each other. So there will be 1 sport versus 1 game at the end here, because it's going to be the 1 seed football taking on the 6 seed hockey, and then the 2 seed League of Legends facing off with the 4 seed it ain't really a 4 seed fighting games. So there will be, on one side, there will be either football or hockey, and on the other will be either League of Legends or fighting games. Just like we drew it up in the finals, there will be a battle between sport and video game.
It's going to be tough for hockey because we're in Super Bowl season right now.
Yeah, it's tough week for it.
People are going to be doing this vote in the lead up to the Super Bowl. But hey, man,
them's the breaks.
I'm going to tell you a little story. I want to tell you a story about a hockey player named Yager.
Jaromir Jagr. Yes.
At
Jaeger
played very long. Jaeger. Jaromir Jagr. Yeah, he could be named after the Lakers. Sure. He's even better that way.
It's like Pacific Rim.
Was threatened over social media after playing 20 plus seasons in the league on social media that this girl who he slept with posted a picture of being in bed with him. He's like, I will post this on social media. And he said, that's fantastic. That will do a lot for my character. So go ahead. So hockey is amazing.
What?
For his character. That'll do a lot for his character.
That's all you need to know.
Like he's a pro wrestler.
Everybody Everybody loves him.
Davis,
Everybody loves him. But you want to vote for 43-year-old Brady or this guy? A few.
Easily Tom Brady, dude. Like,
do you want to
vote for Brady
for hockey?
This is a terrible.
Yes, because this is all I have right now.
This is awful. You could have come up with so much better.
Well, he already said.
We've already made all the. We've already made all the other arguments for hockey. There's nothing left.
We've
heard
about
somewhere.
the cheap beer, so now there's cheap
Blades
beer.
of
Then
steel,
there's sleeping with women and having them threaten to expose you.
But you can
for
still
it
pull on those
embracing
heartstrings.
The legends of the game.
He's
one of the legends.
Lost. You've derailed.
Do you want that as a legend, or do you want Tom Brady as your legend?
Tom Brady.
Who do you want?
Tom Brady is a legend.
No, you don't.
He's banging supermodels, dude.
Yeah, but he's like living that goody two shoes life. I don't want to follow that. He's all straight laced and buttoned up.
He's
awesome.
not,
dude.
He's
He
like
literally,
Rob Gronkowski and stuff. And like, look, I've hated Tom Brady for most of his career, but I cannot, in good faith, argue for Jaromir Jagr over the greatness that is Tom Brady.
Yes,
that is just
absurd.
It's just absurd.
We're not even gonna go. We're not even gonna go Gretzky
Wayne
here.
Gretzky or Mario.
No. No.
Terrible.
No, you don't need to go that. Because you got to go Jagr. Jagr is the man, the myth, the legend. You don't,
Davis, the Jagermeister.
So, hang on. Let me get this straight, Davis. Your whole argument is that football is all goody two shoes, and in hockey, you can.
Oh yeah, you can
sleep around, whatever. Dude, Tom Brady left his wife or his girlfriend at the time.
His supermodel girlfriend.
Immediately after finding out that she was pregnant with his first child, to date another supermodel. Yeah, I don't think it's as cut and dry as you make it out to be.
And we're not condoning that behavior necessarily. You know,
a young man mistake. Yeah, not to mention Roethlisberger, who sounds like he has an identical sword to Jägermeister.
All right, well, that's going to be the semifinals: football versus hockey, League of Legends versus fighting games. I am expecting football versus fighting games in the finale, and I think fighting games is going to take it down. But it's going to be a good matchup. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. I counted hockey out though, this week, so maybe they're going to prove me wrong again. We're going to take one more break. On the other side, we are finally going to get into Chris Davis and his latest financial investments that have taken the world by storm, right here on the Best Damn Nerd Show.
Hey guys, it's the loquacious anime and manga lover Jahns here. Now I have watched a lot of anime and I've read an abundance of manga, so you would think that I have a pretty interesting opinion on the culture. From classics like Golden Boy and Ghost in the Shell to masterpieces such as Psycho Pass and Gantz. Come and join me as I talk about the world of anime and manga, which has had a huge impact on my life. And who knows, whatever I talk about and recommend to you guys could become one of your favorite series.
Ammo with Jammers.
It's the microphone alchemist Bimbo Jimbo here, and when I'm not verbally super kicking Last Jedi fans on the Best Damn Nerd Show, or fantasy casting The Rock in another movie on the DLC, well, that's when I actually get to talk about wrestling. That's right, come join me in the Wrestling War Room, where I take my mic to the mat and launch my hot takes about the Wednesday Night War between AEW and NXT. The Wrestling War Room, which side are you on?
What up, nerds? Lore Master Tim here. We're excited to be delivering your weekly fix of nerd culture, but it's not enough. We need your life force to sustain us. So use those hot little hands to subscribe, rate, and review us on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or however you take your medicine. One of our favorite pastimes on the BDNS is reading fan mail on air. So sing us a song of hatred or love, and you may just hear your beautiful words being featured on an episode. That's why it's important, nay, essential to rate and review us. Until then, as always, nerds, say it loud, say it proud.
Welcome back to the Best Damn Nerd Show. One final segment. Marc Truex, Chris Davis, John Craig here with James Kincaid, and we're finally going to get into sort of the topic du jour of the week and really of the world. The last several days, what's been going on with the stock market, GameStop, stonks, all Elon Musk, all this stuff that's been going on. Smooth brain. I don't know what a lot of these things mean. I have to be honest with you. I've been insanely busy, so I haven't had time to read up on exactly what's going on, but the memes are great. And now I'm putting it in whatever happened with Robinhood. I've seen, Dave Portnoy talk about a few things. Davis, what the hell is going on out there?
Well, the memes are the center of it.
Also, God help us that I'm asking Davis that.
Yeah. If you're coming to me for financial advice, this is going to be hard. But this is not advice. I just like the stock. I want to make that clear. I'm covering myself. I just like the stock. So, right now, if I could explain it very shortly, what happened was there was some hedge funders that shorted the GameStop stock because they didn't think it was going to do well. And could have been right, but
rightfully so.
And they went a little bit too much. They got a little too greedy is what happened. And it tipped the scales too much. People started to catch on. One person in particular, Deep Fucking Value is his username, ironically. He kind of had this theory mid last year, and people just laughed at him, and he went all in on it, and he gained $33 million today, because he got in so early. But
wait, okay. So you're glossing over though, but like,
yeah,
so getting in, and because this pendulum has swung a couple of different times, even in just 48 hours.
I mean, it's been going up for I want to say 2 weeks, but definitely in the last week very quickly. I mean, last week when I first started
something out, right?
2 days ago, it was his first tweet, and that definitely helped it. That was after closing, and so during the after hours, it went up quite a bit. But
so
what
it goes up. So a bunch of people. So something happened on Reddit, right? Like people got together on Reddit and decided to go in on GameStop and AMC or something.
It just became like a meme stock. It was like people were just having fun with it at first. It was just like an idea that this could happen, like this short squeeze could happen, and people started going in on it, and it was like, oh, this would be great. And then
so they're buying stock in this.
They're buying stock in GameStop, and then the other little ones that have kind of came along with this are AMC, BlackBerry, Nokia, and a few others. But
gotta love Nokia.
GameStop, it's like a '90s revolution here,
Yeah. Right up Jeff's alley.
They're trying to make Snake a thing again, I guess. No. So it's just I don't even understand it, and I've just bought in because, quite frankly, what this has turned into, and I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, is that yesterday, Robinhood, a trading app, closed the stock market. Closed the stock. You couldn't buy it. You could only sell. And they have investments from one of the hedge fund companies. 40% of their ownership is from them. And then they're claiming that it wasn't. And then some other stockbrokers closed their stuff. You could only sell. They started limiting it today. And so what this has become is the 99% versus the 1%, pretty much. And that's why so many people are so passionate about it. At first, when I got into it, it was about like, I thought I had a decent shot at possibly making some money. After yesterday, this is just sticking it to the man.
So the Robinhood stopping the ability to buy, making it only to sell, is in the hopes because a lot of the users that bought it, like via Reddit and stuff like that, they used Robinhood, correct? That's the trading app that they use to buy the stock.
Deep Fucking Value, actually, it came from him. He was like, "Hey, go use Robinhood and buy GameStop." And so a lot of those users were already on Robinhood. I'm personally not, but a lot of people on Robinhood.
In the hope, Robinhood sort of sacrificing themselves to help the hedge fund people is that so you can't buy stocks on Robinhood right now. You can only sell in the hopes that all these people that were
those stocks. You can buy other stocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So they're legitimately trying to manipulate the market and get people to sell because some people on Reddit figured out the shell game that is the stock market.
Well, that's one narrative.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
Sure.
but
Sounds
the
right.
other part of this is that you start seeing how this works a little bit, and I do not understand it. But the amount of stocks that are available through the day, the stock's going down, but there's no real reason to see it until you see the short hedge funders that they're just trading their shorts back and forth to try to lower it as much as they can. But nothing's actually going down. Nothing's being sold because everybody's holding. But this is their way to manipulate people to try to sell.
Strong.
No, that's not
Yeah,
true, dude.
it is true.
No.
It is.
No.
Dude, is John Pro the man here?
Yeah, I guess
man.
I am.
He's pro the man.
No.
The rich,
Here's okay. What Davis has outlined is the story that is being told and retold and reshared a million times right now. That this is the 1% versus the 99%. It's the little guy versus the man. It's Main Street's opportunity to get back at Wall Street and punch them in the nuts. The problem with that theory is for the last 100 years, there have been pump and dump scams in the market consistently.
Or in dating.
And there's movies about these pump and dumpers, which we'll get into later. But every time this happens, not every time, but quite often when pump and dump scams happen, brokerages step in or the actual market steps in and halts trading of the pump and dump to protect retail investors. And the reason for that is because even though the story right now is that there's these big billionaire hedge funds shorting the stock, there's also big billionaire hedge funds that have long positions on the stock. And those are the hedge funds that are executing this pump and dump scam. So they've now, it's basically two billionaires fighting each other, and they have all these people with tiny little positions on Robinhood. And I know like these, there's like one or two users that are posting pictures of their brokerage account, and it's like, look, I have $22 million, but that equals 33,000 shares, which is nothing compared to what the hedge funds have. So even if everyone on the forum had that big of a position, they still wouldn't affect the stock price as much as the hedge funds do on long or short positions. So essentially what's happening is all the long positioned hedge funds are hyping up this subreddit and getting them all to buy into this story and buy in at this ridiculous overvalued stock price while they unload all of their shares. When the stock price goes down, it's because people are selling shares. That's the only way a stock price goes down. Shorts can't just manipulate the price down. The only way that you can short a stock is if you're buying a share that someone else is selling. That's the only way prices of stocks change is buying or selling. So when the share price goes down, it means people are unloading their positions. And the people that are unloading their positions are the long positions that are scamming all you guys essentially. and again, this is not the first time this has happened. This is not the first time that a stock has been halted because of this kind of scam. It's not the first time that people have lost everything because of this kind of scam. And I think if we look back at this story in like 4 or 5 weeks, there's going to be a lot of people posting on Reddit that they second mortgaged their home and bought in at the peak like a fucking idiot and then lost everything. Their wife left them. We should be revisiting this story then. But I think the moral of this is that there's always a new crop of idiots lined up ready to get scammed by something like this.
P.T. Barnum, a sucker is born every minute, but
yeah,
I'm you very much have so different narrative than I've been seeing online, Johnny. It's very Wall Street.
Well, I've been scammed by one of these in the past.
Have you really?
Not
was
to
it
the
the
extent
stevia?
that some of the. It was, yeah, not to the extent that some of the people are.
Was it
now,
really?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely fell victim to a pump and dump scam, and then and this was like 2014. And since then, I've just seen it happen over and over and over and over and over, and it's always the exact same trajectory and the same story, like literally like word for word the stuff that Davis is saying, or that like Tim is DMing, or that like people on this subreddit are posting. It's like copy pasted lines from every other time something like this happens. But again, there's always like a new crop of of people that are uninitiated that are going through it and getting scammed. So then they start repeating all these things. Like when you go to the subreddit, the sources of information where they're like, their short position, like this fucking hedge fund's short position is this much, this percentage of this. The sources of information are like retweets of tweets that are then posted to Reddit. All the accounts involved, completely anonymous accounts, right? Anonymous tweet that's retweeted by anonymous account, then posted to Reddit by anonymous account. None of it's like firsthand primary source information. It's all just like completely bot like scam information, but people just don't realize it.
I want to get Davis's response to that. I want to get Davis's response in just a minute. But Mark, what are your thoughts on this so far? You've been quiet.
Dude, this is all news to me. I don't understand at all. I've been seeing stuff going on, and I've seen the memes, and I'm like, yeah, the rich, and you know, we should get money too. They're rigging their game. But man, I don't play the stocks. Fuck that. I don't gamble like that. Yeah. I don't fully understand all the shorts and where they're gambling stuff from.
Sir, this is a casino.
I don't know whose tinfoil hat is thicker though between John and Davis right now.
I did not
Both
expect
of them
this
sound like
coming
they're
in.
running
And
conspiracies.
I love that Davis and John are on opposite ends of this spectrum. Davis, what is your response to what John's saying about what's been going on? Really, as Davis is pouring himself a hearty glass of alcohol. So actually, before you answer that, Davis, how much are you in to what's going on right now, and how much do you stand to lose?
Well, I have a lot of free time at work at the moment. Because of COVID, and you know, I spend a lot of time on this during the week, and I do see the post that John is talking about, like that's linked to the tweet, and like there's like just anonymous sources, and there's no backing to it. But I also see the ones that are linked to actual stats and actual references to past stocks that have done something similar, and you know, I do feel like I've done some of the research needed, but again, this is my first time with my portfolio before this was my retirement fund. I don't do stocks, and this was just something fun to jump in on. And for me, I mean, you guys know me, I'm always against the government, the man, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna
oh,
do
it's
this.
easy story to get sucked into right now.
Yeah, but I do think like this is very, from what I've seen, what I've read, it's very similar to what happened in 2008 with Volkswagen. And
someone bought at the peak of Volkswagen. Yeah. By the way, a lot of people did.
Which became the most worthwhile stock at that time during that short squeeze that happened, and that this is very similar to, that people keep on referencing. So that's the hope of what it gets to. If it actually happens, I don't know. I don't know.
What's smooth brain?
Why not cash out?
What's what?
What's smooth brain mean, Davis?
So there are many memes, sayings that happen in Wall Street bets and Reddit. Smooth brain is just a reference to everybody in there because we don't know what we're doing. We are not smart individuals.
Is that a reference to the gray the stonks meme guy? Is that smooth brain or what? Okay.
We're all smooth brain. We're all uninformed. We're all just before this, Wall Street bets was like a place for people to post losses about how dumb they were, and then every like 5% somebody would post like something awesome they did. But the majority of it was just like, look at this stupid move I made and I lost all this money.
It'll return to that shortly.
Yeah, it will very quickly, probably. The biggest thing is like we're going like shooting to the moon, rocket ship. We're going there.
Yeah.
Diamond hands, because everybody right now is supposed to be holding, no selling whatsoever. Everybody needs to hold, and so.
But what if you go against the grain and sell, and then cash out on the high for all of them who are holding?
That's the key. That's the key to a pump and dump, is that you have to tell everyone else to hold so that you can sell before they do. Like that's the whole so
why don't you cash in now?
Exactly. Everyone's it's
I'd barely make anything right now.
The falsehood is that everyone is in this together and we're all holding together. The reality is,
but it's first person out gets the
first person out gets the prize. Yeah.
Well, the interesting part of this is we haven't.
It's like a game of chicken.
Exactly.
It's 100% a game of chicken, Mark. Exactly, and people are referencing that. But the big thing is diamond hands, hold, and paper
what's
bitches
diamond
fold.
hands?
Because you got to have diamond hands to hold, because you're making so much money, and you got to keep holding because you got diamond hands.
I think it's no coincidence that "to the moon" is the catchphrase, and the moon is shaped like a zero, because that's whatever these accounts are going to be to when it's what's holding the bag. The reality is, none of you guys on this subreddit have big enough positions to even matter whether you're holding or selling. It truly doesn't matter, because the reason this is happening is because a couple big hedge funds, work together to cause this short squeeze.
Yeah, Fidelity is the top holder right now. BlackRock is number 4. There's only on the top of just stocks of holding right now in general. Okay.
Yeah,
and there's only 2 individuals on the top 15, so you're not wrong. Like we all know that.
Yeah, but so everybody knows that the story that they're telling themselves is wrong, but they still tell it for some reason. But ultimately, the only truth, honestly. And this is where, like, I was talking to Tim about it earlier, and we come back to the same thing. It's like, yeah, you can know the risks and you can know all this. The only real truth, though, is the price, and the price keeps going up. So the truth is, it is currently headed to the moon. When that ride stops, when that rocket blows up, we don't know, right? So you have to hope. You have to
get out
really
quick.
Lucky. You have to hope that you get lucky and time it right. You definitely shouldn't believe all these fucking anonymous posters on Reddit that they are actually holding. I bet half of them don't even own shares of the stock currently or sell while they're telling you to hold. But ultimately, the only truth in all of this is the price, and right now it's going up, baby.
Yeah, and
to the moon. And there's a wrestler, Davis. There's a pro wrestler, Davis, whose catchphrase right now is "to the moon." He's the Southern guy, so you really
he might be the biggest thing in wrestling right now, then, because that's very on point.
You should create a meme out of that on Wall Street.
Camera grabs.
But no, like all the big news today was that there was big short calls that ended today, and they all covered. They all covered.
So then why would you still be holding then?
Davis, how much can you stand to win, and how much have you invested, if you don't mind me asking?
Davis got in late, first of all.
You don't have to share. I mean, this is a podcast. Yeah. You don't have to share.
No, I'm in for something I'm okay with losing.
What percentage of your portfolio?
That's like Las Vegas. 100% of his portfolio, Marc, is in this.
If you're going
100%,
if you're going
I'm 100% going to the moon.
if you're going into this and you're gonna be broke after this, and you're gonna like put your livelihood at risk,
which people are doing. If you read,
which people are doing, by the way. Oh yeah, which people are doing. Then you're not doing this right.
It's a really hard lesson to learn, and I guarantee you there are like people that are like in their like late 30s or 40s that have families that are putting like their family's future in this, thinking that like it's going to set them free or change their life, and it will change their life.
Not the way they thought.
And that's exactly why the SEC is trying to step in. That's why Robinhood is halting it, because they're legitimately trying to protect people.
Scarecrow from the Dark Knight. I said my drug would take you places. I never said they'd be places you wanted to go.
Exactly. The people are so stupid that they're like, fuck these guys for stepping in. They're colluding with the bad guy. It's like, dude, the bad guy are the ones that told you to buy in. Those are the bad guys. Like none of you guys should be playing this game.
I guess again, in not being super familiar with it, but when I was at work and seeing GameStop trending and its stock price and everything, it's like, dude, I thought they closed all their stores. Like, what is going on?
Well,
okay,
the reasoning the reasoning for this original guy, D fucking Valley, get in, he was like, I actually do like this stock. I think it was $6 at the time, and they got a new CEO. They started changing their brick and mortars to like gaming stations, pretty much, to go and play live, test out stuff, build a computer, stuff like that. And so they started going this other way. So he's like, I actually think that they're making good moves. They got a new CEO that turned around Chewy, the dog company, and he actually liked where they were going. And so he was like, no, I believe in the stock, which is fine at $6.
Yeah.
Now the stock is worth. Now the company is capped at $10 billion.
Dude, Davis, you should sell now, bro. You stand to make money.
Well, it's too late. He's holding over the weekend, which means Monday morning he'll be.
No, Monday's.
So are you gonna get fucked on
Monday's
Monday?
to the moon. Monday's to the moon, my friend.
Oh my god, dude, Monday, you better get out, bro. You better wake up, dude, and get out.
See, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. I feel like the disclaimer. I feel like
it hurts my tummy.
Mark plays penny slots, by the way. We need to make this clear that Mark only plays the penny slots in Vegas.
I just like to see the lights and the sounds. I just let it go and get a free
drink. This is making Mark very uncomfortable.
Roll that dice, baby. Craps game.
The problem, Davis, with you saying no, now it's Monday. Like everyone was saying that Friday, that today all these shorts have to cover their positions, so today is going to be the day. Then you look at the price today; it's the same as it's been the last 3 days. So that was
to
wrong.
my understanding, they don't have to pay those out until Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, so everyone was saying that today's the day, but then today, the actual day came, and now all those same people are like, no, it's actually Monday or Tuesday.
Ooh, that's not
hold on longer, so I can sell my position before you.
The posts that I've seen that I would say are the most factual, that actually look into the actual numbers and like actually represent what I believe in, is claiming Wednesday or Thursday next week is probably like the height of it.
Wednesday or Thursday now.
Yeah, and that's always what I've read since I've got in.
But like, also potentially maybe the following Monday and Tuesday as well.
It's perfect. Hey, why not? To the moon.
It's a long journey to the moon. It could happen any number of days from now.
Stock. We're gonna get this stock to 10K, John. 10K.
Davis, maybe stop before
10K. That's really a price target people are saying.
Oh no, and the price target people are saying are 69,420.
Oh my god,
69,420.
Fucking clowns.
That's what we're getting at.
Okay, what's your number? If it actually if it reaches a certain number, where are you out? Where do you get out if it hits a certain
There's
apex?
no number, dude. There's
no. That's a good question, Mark.
Mark,
that's
a great question.
Mark. This is to say fuck you to Wall
Davis
Street right now.
The number is 0 for Davis. Okay? The number is 0.
Diamond hands, Mark. Diamond hands.
Davis is going to be holding GameStop in a year, and it's going to
the
share price is going to be like 75 cents a share, and he's going to be like, "It's going to go back up, man. Any
I'm
day
holding
now."
fast, dude.
I'm just here to ride in my wife's boyfriend's Lambo. That's another.
What does that mean?
Everybody's talking about what they're doing to impress their wife's boyfriend.
Hold on, So Davis, did you buy into AMC as well since you went to see New Mutants? Was that like a stock of yours?
I did. I bought into AMC. I bought into Nokia and.
So you bought into all the memes.
What's GME?
That's GameStop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Nokia, I believe in long term. I read a lot on that one. That was the first one I actually bought into because they have a lot.
God bless you.
And they're not. They're not
no,
actually.
I'm laughing. I didn't sneeze. I'm laughing.
They're not actually like.
No, I'm just blessing
option.
Davis and his optimism. I mean,
hey, it was really cheap, so I didn't care.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
So I was like, it can only go up.
Yeah.
Dude,
everyone knows a worthwhile investment in a pandemic is brick and mortar spaces.
So I got
commercial real estate.
This saved AMC. AMC is
it did.
Yeah.
So this is all helping me make sense of a lot of things because I got a G chat from of the Cool's House Heroes, Tim. He goes, "Hey bro, you got diamond hands, dude?" And I was like, "What's that?" And he says, "I'm ready to burn my investment, but my diamond hands won't sell." And then he said, "Long story short, a large group of half blank are buying up shares of stocks that are being shorted by some hedge funds. As the stock goes up, the funds will have to pay out much more than they can afford, and the independent investors can make large gains from the share prices meme rocketing." That's John. I think that's a better explanation than what you gave me.
Do you think there's anything behind that this has garnered so much attention because of how everybody has access to investing now? How much communication is actually available?
This is like the more eyes on The Big Short because of social media, right?
Yeah, and I think
Yes.
so. I don't know, and nobody knows, but I do feel like there should be some optimism because this is unprecedented, just like COVID. You know, this has never been done because of the attention.
I agree to an extent. I think people are giving themselves a little too much credit for affecting the stock price the way it has.
Right.
Like, I truly think if you look at like the positions that people have, I really do think that it's other hedge funds. I know hedge funds are the villains in this, but I think it's other hedge funds that are on the long side that caused the short squeeze to begin with. But the subreddit and all the hype behind this, it has everyone patting themselves on the back, like their little like position of 4 shares is what did it. Like, if you own 4 shares of GameStop right now, you are not the reason that Melvin Capital has had to take a $2 billion injection of
no. You are not the reason, but you're part of a reason, and you're a part of something bigger.
I think.
Wow, this is all about Davis wanting to feel like he belongs.
I don't belong here.
That's what it is for everyone. Yeah. I look, dude. I don't think you can discount. I think the social element of it is cool. I think what's cool is, like bringing awareness to like the manipulation that does happen in the stock market. I think the manipulation that's being called out is wrong. So I'm not optimistic there. Like, I think there's other manipulation happening that's not being called out. And the stuff that is being called out, I don't actually think is manipulation, but at least the discussion is starting, you know? And I think ultimately, like even the ability to take short positions on stocks seems wrong to me. So, you know, the fact that like a couple hedge funds that take short positions are potentially going to go under, like, fuck them, dude. Whether it's the people or not, fuck them.
Right.
Like your whole bet, your whole investment strategy is to bet that companies are going to die. Fuck you, you know?
Yeah. It seems like, you know, there's a bunch of these hedge fund companies, so you would think that they don't like each other. So if they are on the other side of this, I feel like they would want to stay in until they know they need to get out.
That's what I was going to say.
Screw this other company over.
This sounds like sort of like a battle of the billionaires, where the people on Reddit are very much so pawns. If sort of, you know, you guys are the boots on the ground, where this is a very petty game being played by like those 2 old rich fucks in trading places.
Yeah, and I think right now it's making all the Redditors feel really empowered because like they've benefited from it. But I think when you look like 3-4 weeks from now, when the stock price is cratered, all the billionaire hedge funds that had long positions sold like this last week, like, and the only people who are left with nothing. Then I think the subreddit is going to have a little different level of confidence about this whole thing. But, you know,
dude,
we're recording this podcast right now. So
yeah, you got to get out, man. You got to get out.
I'm feeling good, man.
I want you to make some money. I want you to make some, in the words of Jean Villain from The Expendables 2, let's make some money. I will end with this thought, Davis. If you want to invest in something that's, you know, more stable stock, I gave my dad some advice a couple years ago. I said, hey, why don't you buy stock in WWE? And he's never been happier. He texts me every day about how the stock's doing well. So we will revisit this topic again, because I want to know whether Davis makes it to the moon, whether he craters like John says, and we can talk about you know, movies like Trading Places and Wall Street as well on a future episode of Best Damn Nerd Show. But man, the memes are great. I am nervous for you, Davis, watching from the sidelines, but God bless you. I hope it works out for you. Marc is very anxious by this whole conversation. I can tell.
Makes me sick.
You are 100% going to the moon, Davis. That is going to do it for this episode of the Best Damn Nerd Show. Have a great week, everyone. And remember, if you're a nerd, always say it loud and say it proud.